Welcome to the deep dive. You know I love digging into all sorts of things.
Uh-huh.
And today, we're going deep on something that's everywhere these days.
Okay.
It's fascinating and maybe a little bit, well, addictive even.
I like where this is going.
Dating apps.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's got something to say about those.
Exactly. So to help us make sense of it all, we've got our expert here to connect the dots.
I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. So let's start with that feeling we've all had.
Oh, okay.
You know, that little rush when you get a match.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
What's happening in our brains when that happens?
It's all about dopamine.
Dopamine.
And something called intermittent reinforcement.
Intermittent reinforcement. That sounds kind of complicated.
It's actually pretty simple.
Okay.
Think about those slot machines you see in casinos.
All right, I'm picturing it.
Most of the time, you pull the lever and nothing happens.
Right.
But every so often, bam, you hit the jackpot.
To win.
And your brain is flooded with those feel-good chemicals.
So are you saying that dating apps are like slot machines?
In a way, yeah.
Keeping us hooked on that chance of a match?
Exactly. And there's actually been a lawsuit.
Really?
Yeah, against the Match Group. They own Tinder and Hinge.
Wow.
They're being accused of using addictive design.
Interesting.
One of the ways they do this is with the hook model.
The hook model. Okay, tell me more.
It's a cycle with 4 steps that keeps users coming back for more.
I'm all ears. Lay it on me.
The first stage is the trigger. It's something that grabs your attention.
Okay, like what?
Think like a notification, you have new matches,
Uh-huh.
or maybe a reminder to check your most compatible list.
Oh, yeah, I get those all the time.
And you can't resist clicking, even if you're busy.
Totally.
That brings us to stage 2, action.
Action.
It's what the app wants you to do, swiping, liking, messaging.
So basically using the app.
Exactly.
Yeah, got it.
Then comes the reward.
A match.
Yes, that hit of dopamine that keeps you swiping.
It's a good feeling.
But here's the thing. The reward is unpredictable.
Meaning?
Sometimes you get a match, sometimes you don't.
Oh, right.
And that's what makes it so addictive.
You're always hoping for that next win.
Your brain craves that dopamine.
So we've got the trigger, the action, the reward.
Yep, one more to go.
What's the final stage?
Investment.
Investment. How so?
The app encourages you to put in more time and effort.
Right.
Maybe you create a super detailed profile.
Right.
Or you send virtual gifts. Maybe you pay for premium features.
So you're not just investing time, you're spending money.
Exactly. And as you invest more,
You get more attached.
yeah, less likely to give up even if you're not finding what you want.
So you're stuck in this cycle, swiping and messaging, but not finding love.
That's the risk, yeah.
But are there like real world consequences to this? Like, is this a big deal?
Oh, yeah. This is where it gets interesting.
Okay, I'm ready.
Spending too much time on dating apps can impact your mental health and even your physical well-being.
I had no idea.
It can get serious.
Wow.
It's classified as a type of internet addiction disorder.
Wait, it's an actual disorder.
It is. Research shows it can trigger brain changes similar to drug addicts.
Oh, wow. That's not what I expected when I downloaded my first dating app.
And here's the irony.
What's that?
All that time on the apps might actually hurt your chances of finding a relationship.
You're kidding?
You could be missing real-world connections.
So we're glued to our phones, potentially hurting ourselves.
Yeah,
And for what? Just a quick hit of dopamine.
it's a good question.
That might not even lead to love.
It highlights a conflict within these apps.
What do you mean?
It's user engagement versus genuine connection.
It sounds like they're working against us almost.
That's one way to look at it.
Trying to find love, but the apps make it harder.
There's definitely some tension there.
Between how they're designed
Right.
and what they're supposed to be for.
Helping people find meaningful relationships.
It's like one big contradiction.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of talk about it.
In the news and stuff.
Yeah, analyses too.
What are they saying?
That these apps are focused on keeping people using them
Instead of
helping them find actual connections.
makes you wonder what their priority really is.
I remember reading about a lawsuit
Oh, yeah.
claimed these apps were gamifying the search for love.
Is that even possible?
It's definitely a strategy they use.
How so?
Think about those points and rewards. They use competition to keep people hooked.
Like a game.
Yeah, almost like training those pigeons to peck for a treat.
So the design itself.
Could be pushing us away from real love.
That's kind of scary to think about.
But it's not all bad news.
Really?
No, some developers are trying a different approach.
Oh, that's good to hear.
They're prioritizing real connections.
Over the addictive stuff.
Exactly.
Tell me more. I need some good news here.
Imagine a dating app. No endless swiping.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
No pressure to get tons of matches.
That sounds nice.
Instead of chasing that dopamine,
Yeah.
you connect with people who share your values.
And are looking for the same things.
Exactly.
That sounds amazing, but is that even possible?
There's an app called Sunday.
Sunday.
It's pretty new,
Okay.
but they're built on this idea.
Meaningful connections.
Yes, not just fleeting interaction.
They sound different.
It's a curated approach.
What can I mean?
Quality over quantity.
So instead of a ton of profiles,
Fewer.
but they're more compatible
Exactly. And they want people to meet offline.
to actually go on dates.
Yeah, real life connection.
This is making me rethink everything I thought I knew.
It's definitely a different approach.
So there's hope for those of us tired of the swiping game.
There's always hope.
And it sounds like Sunday is trying something new.
They're trying to create a space for deeper connections.
Without all the games and superficial stuff.
That's the idea.
Well, if they need beta testers, I'm in.
Uh-huh.
I'm ready to ditch the dopamine chase.
And find something real.
Yeah, exactly.
It's inspiring to see people pushing back against this addictive design.
And wanting something more meaningful. So what does this all mean for the listener out there?
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today.
Yeah, some really interesting articles.
Definitely. And research, too.
It seems like the picture is pretty clear.
Yeah, in a lot of ways.
Dating apps can be useful,
They can, for sure.
but we have to be careful.
About the downsides.
Right, those addictive features.
The whole dopamine cycle.
It's easy to get sucked in.
It really
You
is.
start playing the game and...
You forget what really matters.
Exactly, finding a real connection.
That's the goal.
So what can we do about it?
It comes down to awareness.
Of how these apps work.
Yes. And taking control.
Not letting them control us.
Right. You have the power to choose.
How you use them.
Exactly.
We need to set boundaries.
Yeah, be aware of those triggers.
Those little things that make us keep swiping.
Don't be afraid to take a break.
Like a digital detox.
Yeah, if you're feeling overwhelmed.
Or like it's not working.
Like you're just spinning your wheels.
And if you're ready for something different,
Just the more.
an app that focuses on real connections,
Instead of the endless swiping in games.
then Sunday might be worth checking out.
Yeah, they're building a wait list for their launch.
Sounds like they're onto something.
Yeah, creating a different kind of space.
A place to find love.
Put out all the noise.
So if you're ready to break free,
From the dopamine chase,
head to the link in our show notes.
you can join the Sunday wait list.
You might just find what you're looking for.
It's worth a shot.
That's it for today's deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time.
Keep diving.